video is from Hillstar English Medium School.
Hello students, Standard 7 Science Lesson 4 Heat. Today we start with a new lesson. This is part 1 of the lesson. Here we will discuss mainly about the heat, how to identify whether the given material is hot or cold, and the ways of measuring the temperature, different thermometers which we can use, which are these thermometers they are measuring. So, in chapter 3rd, you learn that the woolen clothes they are made from the animal fibers. You also have the cotton clothes are made from the plant fiber. We wear woolen clothes during winter when it is cold outside. Where the woolen clothes keep us warm. है ना, हम woolen clothes भी डालते हैं, cotton clothes भी डालते हैं as per the season. When there is a winter cold season, we use a woolen cloth because it keeps us warm. हमें थोड़ा warm रखती है. We prefer to wear the light colored clothes during the summer season. Summer में गर्मी के सीजन में हम थोड़ा हल्के रंग के कपड़े पहनना पसंद करते हैं because it gives us feeling of coolness. ठंडेपन की राहत देता है. You might have wondered what particular type of clothes are suitable for a particular season. हर एक सीजन के लिए हम अलग टाइप के क्लोथ्स क्यों डालते हैं. In winter you feel cold inside the house. If you come out in the sun you feel warm. है ना, विंटर में अब जब बाहर जाते हो exposing us towards sun we feel warm. In summer you feel hot even inside the house. How do we know whether an object is hot or cold? हमें कैसे पता चलेगा ये ऑब्जेक्ट जो है हॉट है या कोल्ड है. How do we find out how hot or cold an object is? कैसे है और कितने हैं वो hot और cold? In this chapter we should try to see answer to some of these questions, whether the object is hot or cold. Hot and cold. In our day-to-day life, we come across a number of objects. बहुत सारे objects हमारे पास में आते हैं ना. Some of them are hot, some of them are cold. Below the table is given here to write whether this is hot, cool है या फिर warm है या cold है. So आइसक्रीम cool है या warm है वो लिखना है. Spoon in the teacup, fruit juice, handle of a frying pan. So according to the temperature we touch, without touching also we can guess, and some of them they are cold. Tea is hot and ice is cold. Some objects you use common in table 4.1. Mark this object as hot or cold. आप खुद अपने मन से कुछ अलग अलग चीज़ें लिख सकते हो और उसके सामने वो hot होल्टी है या cold, accordingly you tick mark. Do not touch the objects which are too hot. Be careful while handling a candle flame or stove. Hot objects से आप थोड़ा उसको टच करने की ज़रूरत है नहीं. We see that some objects are cold while some are hot. You also know that some objects are hotter than others. कुछ गर्म होते कुछ ठंडे होते, कुछ दूसरे से भी बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म हो सकते हैं, right? While some are colder than others. How do we decide which object is hotter than the other? कौन सा बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म है कैसे हमें समझ में आता है. We often do it by touching the object. हाथ लगाने से पता चलता है because our sense is reliable. You can do the activity. Take 3 small tubs, container A, B, C and put cold water in that. And put cold water in A container, hot water in B container, like that. And make sure the water should not be so hot that your hand may burn it. In C container, you can take somewhat mix of hot and cold water. Now dip your left hand in a container A, the right hand in a container B. After keeping the hands in the two containers for 2 to 3 minutes, put both the hands simultaneously in the container C. पहले A में रखना है और लेफ्ट हैंड B में रखना, फिर दोनों हाथ निकाल के C में डालने. Do both the hands get the same feeling? जो ठंडे पानी से निकाला है उसमें वार्म लगेगा, जो वार्म वाटर से हॉट वाटर से निकाला है उसको हमें कोल्ड लगेगा. Buju says, my left hand tells me that the water is mug, C is hot, and right hand tells that it is same water is cold. What should I conclude? देखिए, जो गर्म पानी में हाथ डाला था वो ये वार्म वाटर उनको ठंडा लगेगा, एंड कोल्ड वाटर में डाला था उनको ये वार्म वाटर हॉट लगेगा. So according to the result of this test may be differ for the different hands. Buju confused show that We cannot always rely on our sense of touch. Sense of touch पे हम decide नहीं कर सकते whether the object is hot or cold. Sometimes it may deceive us. So then, how do we find out how hot and cold the object really? A reliable measure of the hotness or the coldness object of the temperature. So we can measure the temperature with the device. What does the name of the device? It is the thermometer. Now measuring the temperature. Have you seen a thermometer? Recall that you have a someone else in your family had a fever. किसी को फीवर अगर आया है तो क्या करेंगे आप? Temperature was measured by a thermometer. Thermometer that measures our body temperature is called clinical thermometer. See here different types of thermometers we have. जो हमारे बॉडी का टेम्परेचर मेजर करता है उसे हम क्या कहते हैं? क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर. Hold the thermometer in your hand and examine it carefully. If you do not have a thermometer, request a friend to share it with you. Thermometer नहीं है तो किसी से आप लेके आओ और देख ऑब्जर्व कर लो. Here the picture is also given of clinical thermometer. Clinical thermometer look like the shown in the picture figure 4.2. A clinical thermometer it consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. कैसे बना है? एक बड़ी मगर लॉन्ग बट नैरो ऐसे ग्लास ट्यूब से ग्लास के मटेरियल से बनी हुई होती है थर्मोमीटर. इट हैज़ अ बल्ब एट वन एंड. एक एंड पे क्या? एक बल्ब है. यू कैन सी इन द पिक्चर एक बल्ब होता है एंड दैट अ लिक्विड इज प्रेजेंट दैट इज ऑफ मर्क्यूरी एंड आउटसाइड द बल्ब स्मॉल शाइनिंग थ्रेड ऑफ मर्क्यूरी कैन बी सीन. और बल्ब के बाहर आपको एक शाइनिंग थ्रेड दिखती है वो भी मर्क्यूरी की होती है. If you do not see the mercury thread, rotate the thermometer a bit till you observe that. And how to do the reading of thermometer? Let us learn how to read a thermometer first. Note the temperature difference indicate between the two bigger marks. Also note down the number of divisions. See, while reading this, you should take some precautions to observe. Thermometer should be washed before and after use. यूज़ करने से पहले क्लिनिकल है तो आपको यूज़ करने से उसे वॉश करके लेना है. प्रेफरेबली विथ एन एंटीसेप्टिक सॉल्यूशन. एंटीसेप्टिक सॉल्यूशन से उसे वॉश करना है. Ensure that before use thermometer level is below 35 डिग्री सेल्सियस. 35 डिग्री सेल्सियस से कम उसका टेम्परेचर होना चाहिए. Read the thermometer keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight. आँखों के बराबर सामने रख के हमें थर्मोमीटर का रीडिंग लेना है. Hold the thermometer with care because it is made up of glass material and delicate. If it is hits against some hard object, it may break. Don't hold the thermometer by the bulb while reading it. जब आप थर्मोमीटर रीड करें तो उसके बल्ब को आपको हाथ नहीं लगाना है. बिकॉज व्हेन यू टच द बल्ब दैट इज द एक्चुअली सेंसिंग पार्ट ऑफ द thermometer. Shown by a smaller marks which are given between the marks. These marks, the bigger marks read 1 degree. पर बड़े बड़े मार्क्स है वो 1 डिग्री होते हैं. उसके अंदर छोटे छोटे मार्क्स भी होते हैं. There are 5 division between them. Then one small division. Like same like our scale is having the division 1 big line. The small 5 lines are there. It can be read as 1 by 5 0.2 degrees Celsius. एक one small division is of 0.2 degrees Celsius की होती है. Wash the thermometer preferably with an antiseptic solution. Hold it firmly and give it a few jerks. ऐसे jerks देना है हाथ से उसे. The jerks will bring the level of the mercury down. जब आप देखोगे तब उस mercury level बढ़ी हुई आगे हो सकती है. टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा दिखा सकती है. सो यू हैव टू गिव द जर्क so that it brings down below the 35 degree. Now place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. There are different parts where you can sense the temperature. One of it is under the tongue you can keep. आप अपने टंग के नीचे रख सकते हो. After 1 minute take the thermometer out and note the reading. आपको क्या करना है? 1 मिनट होने के बाद थर्मोमीटर निकालना है. रीडिंग मार्क करनी है. दिस इज योर बॉडी टेम्परेचर. द टेम्परेचर शुड ऑलवेज बी स्टेटेड विद द यूनिट डिग्री सेल्सियस. सो व्हाट इज द टेम्परेचर यूनिट? इट इज डिग्री सेल्सियस. व्हाट डिड यू रिकॉर्ड? योर normal body temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius. Note that the temperature is stated with its unit. See here the degree Celsius unit is important because other units also have to state the टेम्परेचर दैट इज़ फ़ारेनहाइट. फ़ारेनहाइट से भी हम स्टेट कर सकते हैं टेम्परेचर. Paheli measures her body temperature. She got worried as it was not exactly 37. Now let us try to assure Paheli that there is nothing wrong with her. Measure the body temperature of some other your friend, at least 10, and you can record it. You may find some or other short differences in the body temperature. It may not be exactly 37 degrees. It may be somewhat less or somewhat high. Record your observation and write in the table. Is the body temperature of every person 37 degree? The temperature of every person may not be 37 degree. It could be slightly higher or slightly lower. Actually, what we call normal temperature is the average body temperature of the large number of healthy person. It is the average temperature. जो round about जितने healthy लोग होंगे ना उनमें near about 37 degree Celsius is a normal one. The clinical thermometer, it is designed to measure the temperature of human body only. हर एक जो एनिमल्स की बॉडी का टेम्परेचर अलग अलग हो सकता है एवरेज. सो इट इज़ एक्चुअली prepared for measuring especially human body temperature. The temperature of human bodies normally does not go below 35 degree or above 42 degree. That is the reason that this temperature has a range 35 degree to 42 डिग्री सेल्सियस. इनके बीच में कि बॉडी टेम्परेचर 35 से कम नहीं जाता या फिर 42 से आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता. What are the caution you should take? Do not use the clinical thermometer for measuring the temperature of any object other than human body. And also avoid keeping the thermometer in the sun or near the flame. It may break. क्योंकि इसमें टेम्परेचर बढ़ता जाएगा and when it goes above 42 degree it will break because there is no space to further expansion of mercury in the thermometer. We can have different types of thermometer are used for different purposes. अलग अलग रीज़न के लिए अलग अलग थर्मोमीटर्स होते हैं. द मैक्सिमम एंड मिनिमम टेम्परेचर ऑफ द previous day reported in the weather reports are measured by the thermometer we call maximum minimum thermometer. मीन्स वेदर का जो हमारा रिपोर्ट होता है टेम्परेचर होता है एटमॉस्फेयर का कितना टेम्परेचर है उसके लिए वी आर नॉट यूजिंग क्लिनिकल थर्मोमीटर. वी आर हैविंग अ स्पेशल नेम that is maximum minimum thermometer. This thermometer, look at it carefully and note the highest and the lowest temperature it can be measured. The range of the laboratory. So what is the range of the laboratory thermometer? It is from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. So इतनी बड़ी range होती है. It can measure below 0 degrees Celsius and above 100 degrees Celsius also. Also we can do it in the case of the clinical thermometer. Find out how much a small division on this thermometer reads. You would need this information to read the thermometer correctly. आपको अगर information होगी तो you can able to read the thermometer correctly. अच्छे से आप read कर पाओगे.
Measurement of temperature. It is possible to identify whether the object is hot or cold with the help of temperature. How do we measure temperature? In hospitals, you might have seen doctors using a device for measuring temperature. What is it? It is a thermometer. The type of thermometer which is used to measure temperature of our body is called a clinical thermometer. Let's understand its structure. It is a long narrow tube with same thickness throughout the length. On one side of this tube, there is a bulb which contains mercury. For reading the temperature, there is a scale printed on thermometer. The normal temperature of human body is 37 degrees Celsius. However, it can vary between 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the clinical thermometer has reading from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Here, you must have understood that 35 and 42 are numbers and degrees Celsius is a unit of temperature. There is a very fine tube which originates from the bulb. It is called capillary tube. With rise in temperature, mercury expands in this tube. The capillary tube is bent near the bulb. It prevents mercury from flowing back into the bulb immediately. It gives more time to read the temperature. To get more correct reading, there are some divisions between two consecutive numbers. If there are 10 divisions, then each division signifies 1 by 10, that is equal to 0.1 degree Celsius temperature. And if there are 5 divisions, then each division suggests 1 by 5, that is equal to 0.2 degree Celsius temperature. How to use a thermometer? Before using thermometer, you should wash it with some antiseptic solution. Also, give some jerks to it so as to bring the mercury level falls below 35 degrees Celsius. Now, place the bulb of thermometer under your tongue. Keep it as it is for 1 minute and let the mercury expand in the tube. Now, take the thermometer out and find out the reading shown by the mercury. Just now you have identified your body temperature. Here is a sample value which is showing 37 degrees Celsius and 0.4 degrees Celsius, that is 37.4 degrees Celsius. For temperature measurement, there are units other than Celsius, such as Kelvin and Fahrenheit. Their scales also vary from that of Celsius scale. Always remember, never use a clinical thermometer for measuring the temperature of hot objects other than human body. It may break. Here we complete this topic.
Let us now learn how to use this temperature. Activity 4.4. Take some tap water in a beaker or a mug. आपको एक tap water लेना है, नल का पानी लेना है, and dip the thermometer in a water so that the bulb is immersed in water but does not touch the bottom or the side of the container. आपको सिर्फ वाटर में टच करना है, कंटेनर के साइड में या नीचे टच नहीं होना चाहिए. Now hold the thermometer vertically. थर्मोमीटर को हमेशा वर्टिकली खड़े ही आपको पकड़ना है. Observe the moment. Then you have to observe the moment of mercury in the thermometer. As the temperature rises in the of water, the mercury in the thermometer bulb, it will expand, it will move up and wait till the mercury thread becomes stable. जब तक mercury का जो लेवल है वो स्टेबल नहीं हो जाता, ये बढ़ रहा है या कम हो रहा है, ये स्टेबल, ये वर्क में नहीं चाहिए. It should be stable. Stop at one place. So there we can measure the temperature or exact of that hot water. कितना टेम्परेचर वो आप मेजर करोगे. So in addition to the precaution to be taken while reading a clinical thermometer, the laboratory thermometer we should keep upright, not tilted. थर्मोमीटर हमेशा हमें अपराइट ही वर्टिकली रखना है, आड़ा टेढ़ा उसे नहीं पकड़ना है. बल्ब ऑफ द थर्मोमीटर शुड बी सराउंडेड फ्रॉम ऑल साइड बाय द सब्सटेंसेस ऑफ विच टेम्परेचर इज टू बी मेजर. जो मेजरमेंट ले रहे उसमें ही वो डूबा चाहिए, कंटेनर के वॉल को या बॉटम को टच नहीं होना चाहिए. सो हियर इट इज़ इन द पिक्चर, इट इज़ गिवन हाउ अपराइट और द वर्टिकल इट इज़ held in the water. Note the reading and this is the temperature of the water at that time. You have to compare the temperature of water recorded by each of the student in the class. अगर आप 4-5 students मिलके या friends से मिलके कर रहे तो you can compare the temperature within yourself. All of you will get the same temperature provided all precautions you have followed. Are there any variation in the reading? Discuss the possible reasons and let us try to answer this question. और एक एक्टिविटी दी है यहाँ पे 4.5. टेक सम ऑफ द हॉट वाटर इन अ बीकर और अ मग. डिप द थर्मोमीटर. टू डिप द थर्मोमीटर इन अ वाटर. आपको थर्मोमीटर एक पानी में गर्म पानी लेना है, बीकर में लेना है, उसमें थर्मोमीटर डिप करना है. देन टू वेट टिल द मर्क्यूरी थ्रेड बिकम स्टेडी एंड नोट द टेम्परेचर. आपको उसका टेम्परेचर मार्क करना है. नाउ टेक आउट द थर्मोमीटर फ्रॉम द वाटर. ऑब्जर्व केयरफुली व्हाट हैपन्स नाउ. Do you notice that as soon as you take out the thermometer, जैसे हम पानी से थर्मोमीटर बाहर निकाले, what will happen? Mercury level in the thermometer begins to fall down. वो mercury level जो नीचे नीचे आना चालू हो जाती है. This means that the thermometer must be read by the thermometer in a water. जो मटेरियल का टेम्परेचर मेजर करना है वही मटेरियल में हमें थर्मोमीटर रख के उसका मेजरमेंट लेना है. बाहर निकाल के जब लोगे तब उसका टेम्परेचर वेरी हो जाएगा. यू मे रिकॉल दैट वाइल टेकिंग योर ओन टेम्परेचर You have to take the thermometer out of your mouth to note the reading. Can you then use a separate thermometer to measure your body temperature? No, क्योंकि अगर वो यूज़ किया तो immediately it will fall down. You may not get the exact temperature, and also their range is different. Body clinical thermometer is somewhat different. So obviously it is not advisable to use laboratory thermometer to measure your body temperature. Why does the mercury not fall or rise in a clinical thermometer when taken out of the mouth? Because it is observed a clinical thermometer again. Do you see a kink near the bulb? एक kink होता है जो because of that the mercury level it doesn't fall down immediately. जो पाइपलाइंस स्मॉल पाइपलाइन में मर्क्यूरी राइज होता है वहाँ पे वो थोड़ी टेढ़ी हो जाती है ताकि वो इमीडिएटली नीचे ना आ जाए. इट विल गिव अ टाइम और अलाउ अ टाइम टू रीड द रीडिंग थ्रू द clinical thermometer. So that is why we are having the kink in this. So along with that the digital thermometers are also available where you can just read out the reading. There is a lot of concern over the use of mercury in the thermometer. So mercury is a toxic substance and when we keep it under the tongue अगर वो फूट गया तो it is already toxic poisonous है. So it is very difficult to dispose of the thermometer when it is breaks. So these days the digital thermometers they are available which do not use the mercury जहाँ पे रीडिंग भी easy होती है. So let us stop here. Your homework is to write the difference between the clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Goodbye.